Here we have Mr. Rocky Balboa, right over here. He has quite the attitude 24/7. So he sometimes tries to avoid me. Usually you'll see him in this little corner. He knows he has an attitude. He likes to put himself in timeout. Right here, this one is Mr. Buster. Hello, Buster. How are you? Buster's our little yoga gator. Sometimes you'll see him on the land with his arms and legs like this. This one right here is Greedy. Hi, Greedy. Greedy's the oldest, the laziest, and the biggest gator we have in here. Let's see if Greedy wants to say hi to you guys. Right behind me is Bubba. He's our little fatty. We love him and he loves us. He will do anything for a snack, even if that means stepping over his friends. Let's see if I can have Greedy or Buster to show you guys a little trick. Maple, so you want to try it? You guys hear that? Let's try it out again. Hi, Buster. Buster. Try it out, Buster. Alright guys, that's the small sample of 2,000 pounds of closing pressure per square inch. Whatever is going in there is staying in there. That's why I use a stick and not my hand. Alright guys, with that, they are able to crush through turtle shells. Their diet also consists of birds, small mammals, as well as fish. Luckily, we are not part of the menu. That being said, people have a misconception about alligators. They think that they are out there to hurt humans, that they are these man-eating creatures that hunt humans. But the truth about gators in the wild is that they have a natural fear of humans. They actually don't want anything to do with us. But there have been accidents that have happened between humans and alligators. If you research those accidents, you will come to find that the alligator that was involved in that accident had been provoked. You see how strong they can get? Again, 2,000 pounds of closing pressure. Very, very strong. But if you research those accidents, you will come to find that the alligator that was involved in that accident had been fed by a human at one point or another in their lives. Meaning that they lost that natural fear of humans that they would normally have. And they have now associated humans and food together. That's why it is prohibited to feed alligators out in the wild, because we want to avoid any of these accidents from occurring. So I say that and I come in with a bucket of food. Alright guys, hear me out. The difference between the ones in here and the ones out there is that these guys are captive gators. They were born and raised in captivity. There's a law that states that if they are, they must remain in captivity for the rest of their lives. Let's say that is because if I were to put Greedy out there, the first person that he sees, he will be approaching, thinking that they have food. That's why we don't want to release them out. But again, these guys do get fed every day. Isn't that right, Bubba? Hello, buddy. They do get fed every day. And gators out in the wild, they actually eat about once a week if they get lucky. Some gators could actually go an entire year without eating anything by relying on that fat source. Isn't that right, Bubba? Hello, buddy. Alright guys, let's go into the anatomy of the gator. If you see his beautiful smile, and that smile, they've got about 80 teeth. They've got 40 on the top and 40 on the bottom. They could actually go through about 3,000 teeth within their lifespan. If you see his tongue, hey buddy, his tongue is actually fixated to the bottom of his mouth. They are not able to move their tongue side to side, only up and down like this. They use their tongue to be able to push their food back. So whenever you see the gators eat, they kind of push it back with their tongue like that. They don't really chew on their food the way that we do. Right here, they have their nostrils. Hey buddy. Hi buddy. They have their nostrils. Those nostrils are used to be able to hold their breath underwater. They could actually hold their breath anywhere between 6 to 8 hours in cold waters. They could actually use those nostrils to smell a wounded prey roughly to about a mile away. Very impressive. If you see their eyes, they look incredibly vulnerable. They look like they could get poked out, especially in the kind of fights that alligators get into. But what you might not know is that they have a little trick up their sleeve. They have the ability to stick their eyeballs into their skull. It looks a little like this. Now you see them, and now you don't. Now you see the man. Now you don't. I'm going to try it out with one of these guys here for you guys to see a little bit closer. But it doesn't hurt them at all whatsoever. They do that naturally. So if you see when I touch around the eyes, they do it naturally. They do it as a defense mechanism so that they don't lose those precious eyes. Again, these guys get into very gnarly fights. Sometimes birds will try to land on them, so they do that to not lose them. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Buster? Right behind their eyes, right back here, they have their, hey buddy, they have their ears right back here. Oh, right back over here. They look like little plots. They don't really look like ours, but they're there, right here. They can also open and close those. So when they go underwater, they close them so that they don't get any water inside of the ears. Let's go to the back of the gator. Right back here. They have their tail. Incredibly strong, pure muscle. They use this tail to be able to defend themselves. They do something called the tail whip. Basically anything in this area or in this area, they get whipped really hard. They bring their tail as far back possible to one way and then whip it as hard as possible to the other. So whatever is in this area can go directly in front of their mouths. They use this tail to be able to swim as well. They can go 15 miles per hour on land and in water. When they swim, they put their arms and legs back. They move their tail side to side as if it was a propeller. Again, 15 miles per hour. The only thing is that, these guys can go 15 miles per hour for about 10 seconds and then they go back to laying down like this.